As I said yesterday, these classes are very strong, but the ultimate goal of these classes is not the intensity of the classes. The intensity is here to help us build a strong inner life. The ultimate goal is really to get strong enough inside to sustain an open heart center, to sustain love, kindness, joy, happiness. I mean, that's the ultimate goal of everything human beings strive for on this planet. Everything is supposed to lead us to a state of happiness. We're supposed to, it's supposed to be heart. That is the key to all success here, because money, marriage, relationships, the house, this, it's all supposed to make us happy. So the intensity of the meditation, its purpose is to build a strong chakra system so that ultimately the heart can stay open. And, we really attain a state of ananda, a state of kind of bliss that enables us to connect profoundly with higher energy in the universe. So we need the intensity, but we also need to understand that just building chi, just, getting the mind quiet, those are part of the answer. But developing and having an open heart, brings a person to what I always say, happy people are enlightened people. People that can live every day of their lives with joy and love inside them, and not, in their heads and angry and this and that and the other, whatever. Does anyone have a question I would like to ask?
How are other people attaining that happiness that you speak of, who aren't?
Are other people attaining it?
Yeah, who aren't engaging in a spiritual path or?
Well, mostly, just look at the world. Most people are not involved in doing deep spiritual practice. I'm not saying that this is the only practice. It shouldn't be. There have to be many practices that people can do that work for them. Each person is unique and each person has to find what works for them. But you have to do something to build an inner life. And most people living, on this planet don't do very much. They chase money, they chase power, they chase success. They live in states of depression and unhappiness. They don't do anything other than they complain about it. But they never really do anything to fix it and change it inside themselves. So how? I don't know. I mean, I know what works for me. Hopefully what we're doing here works for all of you. And, I just pray to God there are other ways, because my God, look, there's maybe 30 some odd people here in this class. There's 8 billion people that live on this planet. And I hope that people are finding ways of really tapping deep inner work in themselves and attaining a state of happiness, a state of love, a state of, look, every freaking rock and roll song is written about love. Every song is written. I mean, I was listening to, what's her name? Ella Washington, or anyhow, this jazz singer. And she sang about, I don't know, 20 songs out of Cole Porter. And this, every single one of them is about love. Every single one of them. I mean, it's the ultimate goal of living here, getting happy, being able to embrace love, opening our hearts. And how people get there, I don't know. But frankly, I don't meet a lot of people in my life that get there. I meet a lot of people that are endlessly complaining about how difficult and how much pain they have and their illnesses and their pains and their this and their that. And then you look at them and they don't do anything to fix it. And I'm not saying they have to do what I teach to fix it, but they have to do something. So I don't know how other people do it. I don't meet a lot of happy people. Mostly when you interact with people, you got to be strong enough to deal with their tension, their unhappiness, in order to sustain your own without having them suck you dry. And I just pray to God that people do something, Generally, when there's enough pain in people, they begin to think about doing something. First place they usually run is to a therapist. They pay, $200 an hour for somebody to listen to them. And again, I hope and pray to God that people do something. It's the only way this planet is going to change, if people start fixing themselves inside. Everybody's trying to fix the external world, and they're trying to fix an illusion, a reflection of their own craziness they're trying to fix. They fix inside themselves if they develop, a chakra or whatever, a system inside that is strong enough to be able to, live in the world with an open heart. The world is going to change. Without that, the world is not going to change.
Stuart.
Yes.
Hi.
It's my name.
I start to talk, I lose it. But I love that you're emphasizing love as being perhaps the indication that the meditation is truly working for us.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and that we have to do this work seems to require a lot of courage on the people who choose this path, because it seems, would you not say that things will surface that can sometimes feel a little frightening, because as you heal, you bring things to the surface.
Look, Brenda, it takes a lot of guts to face reality. And if you do this meditation, you will every day of your life have to face the real you. It takes a lot of courage to do that. But what do you want? You want to face the fake you every day and kid yourself and bullshit yourself around and, pat yourself on the shoulder. And meanwhile, deep inside, there's pain. There's, it forces you to come to terms with yourself, this meditation. That's why I always loved it. I couldn't run away. How many times in my head I thought, how long do you have to do this? This is, I probably ran away from Rudy about 100 times a week. It was so difficult to do this work. And it was only so difficult because I was constantly up against the one person who was keeping me from get to God, me. And he demanded that I confront that person and deal with that person and learn how to master that person. Yes, it's, I can understand people being afraid of that. Because you have to confront the truth of exactly who and what you are, and then you have to deal with it. And you have to learn how to grow and, transform all of that inner stuff into an open heart. That is the ultimate goal of all this, to live with love, unconditional love.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. And don't worry, having a little fear, there's nothing wrong with that. Mostly it tells you to be more conscious. That's what it's telling you. You know, I always, use the metaphor. It's like a buoy, a bell ringing in a fog on the ocean, telling you, navigate around here because there are rocks and your ship is going to sink. Understand? That's what fear is like. It's telling you to be a more conscious person, to navigate your life more consciously. It becomes a monster when we let the mind get involved with it. Then it becomes Frankenstein. Does anyone else have a question they would like to ask?
Stuart, can you talk about trauma, like this meditation in relationship to working through traumas, or is there no difference if it's something harsher or more traumatizing or less? It's all the same?
I'm not sure it's all the same, Wendy. There's all kinds of degrees of trauma. But I can promise you this, if you develop a system inside yourself, chakra system, you get balance, you get your heart open, the traumas in your life are going to get less and less and less. You will be able to master the discord in yourself that creates trauma. And you're not going to blame it on the external world. You're going to be able to go to a place in yourself where there's enough security to be able to deal with trauma. And it happens less and less. The more you develop that kind of capacity, the traumas in life get less and less. And if it's traumas like, look, accidents happen. I've been in enough of them in my life to tell you that if it wasn't for this meditation, forget about it. I was in a car wreck once. I'll never forget. The car turned over and over and over. And I'll never forget, while that was going on, I put my arm around the driver and I got centered below the navel and I created like a shield for the two of us. And nobody even touched the car. And, we both got out of the car completely, whole. That was pretty traumatic experience. But I'll never forget that. The car went over and over and over. And I just went like this, stayed centered, and just kind of bounced with the car, And I got out, and she got out, and everybody was both fine. Car was completely demolished. So as you build that kind of system in yourself, you can deal with trauma, you can deal with accidents, you can deal with problems that manifest. You can deal with life's difficulties. And I'm telling you, I've had traumatic experiences in my life coming out of my ears. And I was only capable of getting through those experiences because of this meditation. Because I learned how to stay grounded, centered, balanced in myself while I was going through very difficult situations. And today, after years of doing this, all I'm finding around me is kindness and goodness and people being grateful. And it's just amazing is what I find in my life today. Does anyone else have a question?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Thank you. God bless you all. There'll be a meditation on what is today? Wednesday. And looking forward to seeing everybody. And again, in all humility, thank you. God bless you all. Your being here has so deeply affected the growth that has taken place in me in the last 2 years that I am just totally astonished and so deeply grateful for each and every person that shows up in these classes. You know, so God bless you all. Thank you. And looking forward to seeing everybody on Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stuart. God bless you.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
Thank you, Stuart.
You're welcome. Thank you.